ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। तो आप सभी भक्तों का हार्दिक स्वागत है आज के श्रीमद् भगवद गीता के डिस्कशन में। तो yesterday we discussed from chapter 1 and verse number 20, 20, 21 and 22. अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थाप्य अच्युता यावदेतान् निरीक्ष्य अहं योद्धुकामान् अवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे। So Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. So Arjuna requested Krishna to put the chariot in between the two armies because Arjuna was fully prepared for fighting. So he wanted to have an observation so that he can calculate how he's supposed to fight. So with this intention, Arjuna actually requested Krishna, and also he wanted to see all those who are present with the desire to fight, especially those people, those kings who have chosen to fight from the side of Duryodhana. That was Arjuna's intention. In the next verse, it will be clearly indicated. So in this verse, so is in this way Arjuna is requesting Krishna. Ratham sthape me achyuta. He is addressing Krishna as Achyuta. So yesterday we discussed why Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Achyuta. And what is the meaning of Krishna's name Achyuta. Achyuta means O infallible one. Yes. So all of you remember what we discussed. What is the meaning of the name Achyuta and what is the significance of Krishna's name uh, as Achyuta? Yes, who can answer? So, uh, so Krishna never falls down from his position. That means his promise is also never, he also never deviates from his promise. And what is his biggest promise? His biggest promise is Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotees will never perish. I will always protect my devotees. That is his promise. So from this position, he never falls down, and he is fully capable. In this world also, many times some people they promise, Uh, but there is no guarantee whether they will be able to follow their promise or not. Uh, Sometimes they even forget their promise. What to speak of follow them, but they even forget the promise. And even if there may be some people who promise and who want to follow it rigidly throughout their life, but still because they are not capable of doing it, so sometimes they may fail to do so. But Krishna, he never forgets. He is also he is fully powerful, capable to follow his promise. This promise. What is this promise? That Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotees will never perish. My I will always give protection to my devotees. So that's why this is very safest path. There should be no hesitation that we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Can there be any hesitation? Yes. Can any one of you tell what could be the hesitation in surrendering to Krishna, in accepting Krishna's words in Bhagavad Gita? Yes, is there any hesitation? Arjuna is addressing Krishna here as Achyuta, means the Supreme Personality of Godhead who never falls down from his position of being protector of his devotees. So anyone who takes shelter of Krishna's lotus feet by chanting his holy name, definitely he is going to get protected. So, and actually, it is only Krishna who can give protection to everyone because he is supreme controller, supreme personality of Godhead. We may have good intelligence, strength, position, power, and but still, the situation will arise in our life that we will feel disturbed. So, especially at that time, we need to become more conscious about this very fact that Krishna is the supreme controller. He is supreme controller. He can control everything. He can change all the situations uh, if I take shelter of his holy name. So, with this conviction, one who understands this, uh, that Krishna never fails from his promise, then he can remain perfectly situated on his journey towards Krishna consciousness, back home, back to God. So this is the lesson we learn from this verse and significance of Krishna's name, Achyuta. So this we discussed yesterday. I just repeated. So today we'll discuss something more about this. The lessons, what lessons we learn from this. One lesson we already discussed that in any situation of our life, if we take shelter of Krishna's holy name, Krishna's shelter, then definitely we are going to get protected. There is no doubt about it. Another point, Achyuta means infallible, one who never falls down from his position. So that means, irrespective of what the condition is, he never falls down. He is he is completely aloof or completely beyond the conditions, situations of this material world. In this material world, uh, sometimes we find a person who is ready to give some protection, shelter, a promise or guarantee, but they have so many conditions. That's why if you take any product, uh, so they will give so many promise and guarantee, warranty, whatever it is, but they will put the condition. There will be always a star, uh, and it will be written terms and conditions apply. There will always be this terms and condition apply. Whether you purchase any object or if you are living in this world, you have relationships with so many people, and so everyone has their own terms and conditions. If those terms and conditions are fulfilled, then only they are ready to serve, well, then only they are ready to have proper relationship. And this is actually a conditioning. Everyone is conditioned. They have their own mental conditioning. Everyone has their own intellectual, mental, and physical conditioning. That in certain conditions only I can perform. I can be helpful. I can protect you. I can support you. So all these conditions are always there. But as far as Krishna is concerned, so the name of Krishna, Achyuta, this also signifies that in all circumstances, all conditions, Krishna remains Achyuta, means he is ever willing to give protection to whoever comes and surrenders unto him. That is the meaning of Krishna being Achyuta. Just like when Ramchandra, he uh, he was asked that if Ravana comes, when Lord Ramchandra was just about to make the bridge, about to cross, and after crossing also, when he landed in Sri Lanka, and the war was just about to begin. So Lord Ramchandra declared at that time, even if Ravanasur comes now and surrenders and gives my wife Sita back to me, then I will forgive him, and he can remain the ruler of this his kingdom, Sri Lanka. That means even at that time also, when Raman has done so much bad, so much insult, so much he disrespectfully he acted. Still, Lord Ramchandra was prepared to forgive him. So he is ready to forget, and he is ready to forgive. And he is ready to remove all kinds of conditions. That is Krishna's nature. That is the meaning of this word Achyuta, infallible. That means there is no condition, only one condition. If one is willing to take shelter of Krishna at any moment of time, Krishna is fully prepared to give protection. He never falls. He never falls down. That is the meaning. So Achyuta signifies that, and another significant point is that we may not be qualified enough to take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. One may feel that I'm completely disqualified. But even in that situation, the qualification is on the side of the Supreme Lord. He is ready to accept and he is ready to protect to whoever is willing to take his shelter. That is also the meaning of the name Achyuta. He never falls down from his position. So, in this way, in this verse, Arjuna is requesting Krishna that you put my chariot driver in between the two armies so that I can have observation. And because you have accepted uh, as you are acting like a chariot driver to me, so I am just requesting you to put the chariot in between the two armies. This is not order because I fully understand you are supreme personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, although Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. That is Krishna's mercy. He is supreme Bhagwan, but still out of his causeless mercy and out of his love and affection for his devotee, Krishna is acting as a servant, as a driver for Arjuna. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible. As charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. This is also another point. So, although he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna knew. But still, when Arjuna ordered to put the chariot in between the two armies, he did not uh, hesitate to deviate from this principle. He did not hesitate to do so. That's why he is infallible. Means whatever position he accepts, he is always willing to act on that. Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. Still, he was supreme God. In all circumstances, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, Rishikesh, the Lord of the total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotees. That is the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. And that is why also Krishna is addressed as Achyuta. Just like a devotee is always ready or anxious to serve the Lord, similarly, the Lord is also always anxious and ready to serve his devotees. And that is why the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotee is very sweet and it's beyond conception, ordinary imagination or conception. That's why it's transcendental. Nobody can understand this. Uh, Everyone, those who are not non-devotees, they cannot understand the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. That's why sometimes they become bewildered upon seeing the transcendental pastimes of Supreme Lord. Because Krishna doesn't care anything. He does not care what non-devotees will think about his position. Uh, His only concern is whatever, and in whatever way I can serve my devotees, I can give pleasure to my devotees, I am ready to do. It's like in this Kartik month, Damodar Leela happens. So Krishna is ready to get bound by Mother Yashoda. So if anybody who is not a devotee or not a pure devotee, if he sees this and hears about this pastime, so it will be difficult for him to accept that Krishna is the supreme controller. He is the control. He is controlling entire universe. So how he is getting bound by Mother Yashoda? Uh, So Krishna, he did not care that what others will think. That Supreme Lord, how is he is getting bound? His only concern is that Mother Yashoda should be pleased because she has the desire to bind me. Let me get bound by her. So that is what is his concern, and that is why he is Achyuta. He takes greater pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders. Uh, as Supreme Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu, Krishna is always giving orders. He even does not have to give orders. He simply desires, and he has got so many exalted servants. And Maya Devi is such a very exalted maid servant of Krishna, who simply by understanding the desire of Krishna, she fulfills all the desires. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Sakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvarani Vibharti Durga Ichhanurupamapi Yasya Sesha Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ichha Anurupam. Mother Durga, she acts Ichha Anurupam as per the desire of the Supreme Lord. Whatever he desires, she acts exactly according to that desire. That's why she has been mentioned in Brahma Samhita as Chayeva, Chaya Iva, just like shadow. Shadow exactly follows the person. Similarly, Mother Durga, she exactly follows the desires of the Supreme Lord. A Supreme Lord doesn't even have to write a mail, writing all the points what you are supposed to do. She knows very well. That's why it's very difficult to understand the functioning of this material nature. Nobody can understand because Krishna, although he is controlling everything, but he is doing it in such a wonderful way that it appears that everything is being done automatically. Because as soon as he desires, everything is done by the arrangement of material nature. His potencies are so powerful. Parasya Shakti Vividaya Vishuyate Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. Parasya means Supreme Lord's Shakti Vividhaya. Supreme Lord's potency are multifarious. So many varieties of potencies are there. And Swabhaviki means automatically. Jnana Bala Kriyacha. It performs all kinds of activities. So that is his position. He is such a order. He can give order like this. Nobody can be as good or as influential master as Krishna in this material world. Those who want to become master, so they can just imagine themselves that they are master, but nobody cares to listen them. They just keep giving orders and instructions. Nobody cares whether one is a teacher in the school. Teachers, they give instructions and orders to students, nobody hears. In colleges also nobody hears. In the house of a family, husband wants to control wife, he gives orders and instructions, but she never cares. Parents, they want to control and order their children, but children don't care. Hmm. And in country, this prime minister, politicians, leaders, they want to instruct and order the citizens, but they don't care. So in this way, in this material world, the false masters, they think themselves to be master, but they are not actually master. Nobody cares to even hear their instructions. But Krishna is not like this. Krishna is actual master and is supreme master, and he commands and he demands, and if he even doesn't have to uh, say anything, simply by desiring, all his demands and commands and orders are fulfilled. So he is such a powerful master, but is still he derives more pleasure when his devotees order him. In that situation, he becomes more pleased. That is why he is Achyuta. So, since he is master, everyone is under his orders and no one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is infallible master in all circumstances. That's why Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come onto the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading persons present on the battlefield were, although there was no question of a peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield. He wanted to see them again and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war. So in this 22nd number was Kair Maya Sahayodhabhyam Asmin Ran Samudame. So Arjuna wanted to observe or see all those persons, warriors who have assembled there to fight against Pandavas. So that was his desire. Okay, so with this we'll stop here. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Okay. So one question is being asked: how will I get to know that Krishna is providing his shelter to me? So we can get to know by reading Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is willing. He is telling, "Come and take shelter of me," and that is sufficient. Krishna never lies. An ordinary person in this material world, he may lie, but Krishna never lies. Krishna is completely truthful. So he's saying, you come and take shelter of me. Not only just he is saying, but he is forcing. Sarva dharman parityajya maham ekam saranam vraja. He says, leave everything and take shelter of me. So leave everything doesn't mean that you leave in the situation in which you are living. Leave everything means don't depend upon any other thing. Don't depend upon your intelligence. Don't depend upon the resources, money, wealth, or opulences you have. Don't depend upon the relatives, your greatest well wishing friend in this material world. Nobody is going to help you. When the time will come, so only I can protect you. And what is that time? The time of death. So nobody can protect anyone from the cruel hands of death. So only Krishna can give protection. So Krishna is telling, that's why Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Leave your dependency upon everything else and just depend upon me. That is what is Krishna is demanding, ordering, or desiring, requesting, whatever you may say, or instructing. So that is there. So in this way, you can understand that Krishna is providing shelter to us. Krishna is telling. So we just have to take his shelter. And how we take his shelter? By reading his Bhagavad Gita, by hearing about him, by chanting his name, by serving him in this way. And in this Kartik month, by offering lamp to him. So we can express our heart when we offer lamp to Lord Krishna, Lord Damodar. We express our heart that I am ready to take shelter of your lotus feet. Please accept me. So Krishna is ready to accept.
इसी आंसर से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन था कि आप
हाँ,
जैसा कह रहे थे कि डिपेंड रहना चाहिए टोटली कृष्णा पर, तो हमारी जो ड्यूटीज हैं तो उनका मतलब कोई कह सकता है कि क्यों करना है, जो कृष्णा को प्रोवाइड करना होगा वो अपने आप मिल जाएगा, तो बस
no
चलने
duties.
देते हैं।
So that's why we should perform our duties for Krishna. For Krishna's sake, we should perform our duties. So Krishna has put me in this situation right now. I am studying. I am a student, or I am working. I am a householder in whatever ashram, whatever situation. So Krishna, by Krishna's arrangement, I am there. So it is my duty to do it, but for Krishna. Just like Arjuna was put in the situation, he was a Kshatriya. He was in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Arjuna cannot leave this because that is Krishna's desire. But Arjuna should not do this war for his own sense gratification, for himself or for others. Arjuna should not do this. If Arjuna does it for either for himself or for others, his family members, relatives, then he will get the reaction. He will have to take birth again. But in whatever situation he is there, he should perform it for Krishna's sake. Then he will get liberated. That is what. So we can perform our material duties, but for advancing in Krishna consciousness, then it does not remain material. It becomes spiritual also. So with this consciousness, we can do our material duties without getting attached to it and dedicating the results. First of all, while doing our material duties, by remembering Krishna, we do perform our duties. That then it becomes spiritual. And when we get the result, then we offer it to the Supreme Lord Krishna. Then also it becomes spiritual. Mam Anusmaran Yuddhacha, Krishna said. While remembering me, perform your fighting duty. Similarly, while remembering Krishna, being Krishna conscious, one should study. Being Krishna conscious, one should perform job. Being Krishna conscious, one should perform any material duties, household duties, whatever it may be. Okay. Yes, Ankita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dharmat Pranam. Prabhuji, I have a
Hare Krishna.
question like if somebody can ever met or meet like Modi ji, so he would hesitate to talk in front. So here the Arjun are next to Supreme God personality, Krishna. Then was he in that position to talk even or like to eye contact means what kind of situation he
No,
was
because
feeling? Hare
there is
Krishna.
bonding. Bonding is there. Bonding of love is there. So when there is a bonding of love, then there is no question of considering the position. We forget the position. But sometimes when the bonding becomes diluted because of the opulence or knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, uh, then sometimes yeah, the devotee hesitates also. When Krishna will show his universal form, at that time Arjuna will have this realization that Krishna is not ordinary person. He is Supreme Lord. He is controlling everything. Then he becomes fearful and he folds his hand, he offers pranam. But as soon as Krishna again assumes his beautiful Shyam Sundar form of Parthasarathi, the Guj form, then immediately upon seeing Krishna's form, Arjuna again develops the consciousness, oh, he is my friend. So although he knows, at that time also he knows that Krishna is Supreme Lord, but still, because Krishna is there in a friendship relationship, so there is a bonding of love. So the devotee then is very familiar with Krishna in order to please him. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Karuna Mataji, you are right. So when we come in bhakti, we are upon Krishna's shelter. Krishna's shelter is there. If we are chanting seriously, attentively, we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, hearing about Krishna, serving Krishna in whatever capacity we can do, and that means we are under Krishna's shelter.